The Great Wall of China is one of the most famous structures in the world. It's also one of the largest and most expensive to build. But it was on all sunshine and roses for the hundreds of thousands of laborers who spent years constructing it. In fact, there's a dark truth behind its construction that most people don't know about. Stay tuned till the end to find out what it is. What's the first thing you think of when you see this structure? Protection from invaders, right? Well, that's exactly what it was built for. The first record of the construction of the wall dates back to the 7th century BC. It was built to protect the Chinese states from the Xiongnu, nomadic group from the north. Over the years, many different groups and dynasties contributed to its construction, and it became longer and taller as time went on. By the end of the Ming Dynasty, it was over 13,000 miles long. But here's the thing. The Great Wall of China wasn't built all at once. It took centuries to complete. And during that time, many different groups and dynasties contributed to its construction. This means that the wall isn't just one structure, but many. Each dynasty had its own style of building, so the wall has a patchwork appearance. Also, the wall wasn't built to keep enemies out. It was built to keep the Chinese people in. The idea was that if the Chinese people were all kept within the borders of China, then they would be safe from the invaders. However, it didn't always work out that way, and there are many accounts of battles that took place along the wall itself. The Great Wall of China is made up of several different sections, each of which is unique in its own way. Some are made of stone, while others are made of wood or even earth. The tallest section is about 26 feet high, and the longest section is about 3,400 miles. Can you imagine walking the entire length of the wall? It would take you over 2 weeks to do it. But let's get to the dark truth behind the construction of the Great Wall of China. As we mentioned earlier, it took hundreds of thousands of laborers many years to build the wall. These laborers were mostly peasants who were taken from their homes and forced to work on the wall without pay. They worked long hours in harsh conditions and were often beaten or killed if they didn't meet their quotas. To make matters worse, the food they were given was often low quality and in short supply, which meant that many of the workers were constantly hungry. As you can imagine, this led to a lot of resentment and anger towards the government. Many of the workers saw the wall as a symbol of the government's oppression and cruelty. When the Ming Dynasty finally fell in 1644, it was largely due to the resentment of the peasants, who had been forced to work on the wall. Another dark secret about the Great Wall of China is that it's really not that great. It's impressive in terms of its size and scope, but in terms of its effectiveness, it was pretty useless. The Chinese people were never able to completely stop the invaders, and the wall didn't really do much to protect them. In fact, the wall was more of a hindrance than a help in many cases, since it gave the Chinese people a false sense of security. Because of the wall, the Chinese people were often caught off guard when the invaders attacked. They thought that the wall was so tall and strong that no one could get over or through it, so they didn't bother to defend themselves. This led to many deaths and much suffering. So there you have it, the dark truth behind the construction of the Great Wall of China. It may seem hard to believe, but it's true. The wall was built with the blood, sweat of millions of peasants who were basically slaves to the government. And for what? A false sense of security. If you ever visit the Great Wall of China, keep these stories in mind. It'll make you appreciate the wall a little bit more. Now it's time to hear from you. What do you think of the Great Wall of China? Do you think it's overrated? Let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our future videos. Thanks for watching.